So in this video, this is part 2 of the first one where I did all the mods to my Cheerson CX20. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue on with the legs. Now with the Cheerson, the stock landing gear is ridiculous. I mean, when you put it in your yard, put it on the grass, and you go try to take off with it, I mean, it immediately wants to tilt back. It's very, very unstable. Really narrow, really short legs, and there's not really anything you can do with it, because even when you put a camera on the bottom of it, it's basically touching the ground. That's no good. So to continue on with the mods and try to make the Cheerson CX20 better, I went ahead and ordered longer landing gear. Now, I searched to the ends of the earth, eBay, Amazon. I couldn't find proper landing gear for the Cheerson CX20 anywhere. But I could find a ton of crap for the DJI Phantom. And in the description of the taller landing gear for the DJI Phantom, it said it'll work for the Cheerson CX20. So, I ordered it. And it's definitely a lot taller, but it's not. I had to do some modifications for it to even work. And in this video, I'm going to show you what I had to do. Now, the rod that's going across the legs is 3/16 thickness. It seems to work just fine. I cut it to length so that way it provides stability in between the two legs, because let me face it, the landing gear is floppy as shit. And I just want it to be as sturdy as possible. Now, that bigger rod right there, I want to say I cut it out 14 inches in length. It gives me 4 inches in the front and 4 inches in the rear, in between the legs, and it's about 5/16. So it's pretty thick enough so you can see right where I'm going to attach it. And I'm going to attach it using the 2-part epoxy. Right there where you see the tape is masking tape, so that way when I fill the void in there with the 2-part epoxy, it won't go running out and make a mess anywhere. Did it actually work? Not really. You kind of really don't need it, because the 2-part epoxy stuff is pretty thick. So I just gooped it on the inside there, and it seemed to work out just fine. And right there is where there's that little gap, so you're going to want to fill in that gap. And I end up using a hot glue gun where the little feet are to help fix it down, so that way it won't go anywhere. And then I'm going to fill the whole inside with that 2-part epoxy, as you can see right here. Now, I apologize for the camera. I'm using a webcam for this. I'm actually shooting on a Sony CyberShot. Sorry for that, but it's supposed to be a 20.1 megapixel camera, true HD, if that makes any sense, but it's a lot better camera. So this is pretty much going to be the last video of me using a webcam to make these videos. But now I have all the pieces 2-part epoxy. Now this stuff dries pretty quick, but man, it smells pretty bad. It's pretty long enough so that way I don't have it laying around with me. But that's actually part of a selfie stick I got at the dollar store, and it works out just fine. I actually used a quarter 16 thread bolt just to affix it to the stock gimbal to hold pretty much anything you want. It works pretty well, actually. Okay, so this is me taking off the landing gear just to show you what I'm talking. You can already see right now that the DJI Phantom landing gear isn't designed for the Cheerson CX20 at all. So just be warned, if you do get this landing gear, I'm going to show you how to modify this landing gear to make sure that it will work for your Cheerson CX20. I have seen people have taken the extra holes and putting bolts through them to fill up the gaps, so that way there's not a lot of flex. But to me, that seems like a really janky way of doing it. And I'm going to show you a way to do it, and it actually molds, it actually contours to the bottom of the Cheerson CX20. So that way it's a lot more stable and it's a lot stronger. Now right here you can see basically what I'm going after. I basically took the longer landing gear, I put dowel rods in the bottom, so that way you can actually put this thing on the ground without it wanting to tilt forward or backwards, because every time I go, unless you take off like a bat out of hell and you immediately want to shoot up to 20 feet before you know it, you literally have to throttle all the way up on the Cheerson CX20 just to be able to take off, and then fight just to keep it from going ape shit. Now right here, basically what I'm doing is I'm taking that gap, right? I'm taking the masking tape, I put it on the bottom of the Cheerson CX20, then I take the masking tape and I just put it around, and there's going to be a void in the middle of it. What I'm doing is I'm going to take the hot glue gun and I'm going to squirt the hot glue through the holes, and what the hot glue is going to do is actually fill that void up with a nice hard solid mold of the bottom of the Cheerson CX20, so that way it's held on by the bolt, and it's also got that nice little hard cushion in between it. It molds, I mean, you'll see in a minute, it molds to the bottom of the Cheerson CX20 so nicely. Instead of trying to put a bolt through there and nylon washers just to keep it from flopping around, to me that just, I don't know. But I seen a guy on the Amazon link where it showed on the description how people can actually do it. I guess it's a good idea, but if you've got a glue gun laying around, why not put some masking tape around it, then fill the void up with hot glue. Hot glue is great because it's not 100% permanent. It's easy to mess with. It probably dried within 15 seconds, and bam, I'm done. And as you can see, I just squirted through the holes, got the masking tape around it. Probably said that 4 times already, but to me that just seemed the most logical way to do it. I've even seen guys permanently affix these legs to their Cheerson CX20 with epoxy. I kind of want to make it to where I can take things apart. And the best part about the longer landing gear is you could see in the first video that you are able to extend the antenna much longer, especially now that I moved the receiver sideways, so that way the antennas come out equally, because they have everything inside of there facing one orientation. The flight controller has to face in orientation. Sounds stupid. And so does the GPS module. But the receiver can pretty much face any direction because it's receiving the signal from the transceiver. See how it just filled up the inside of it? That is so cool. Why wouldn't you do this? Now you got this nice little gap filled up. You can take your X-Acto knife, you can trim it to where it makes it nice and perfect. So I'm super happy it actually turned out that way. I kind of knew that it would, and to me kind of seemed like it was common sense. Yeah, look at that. Yep, it just filled it up. I mean, the legs come on and off like it ain't nothing. Sorry about that, guys. Now you could, if you do this, you could probably, take a razor and shave it and make it look all legit and stuff. But I kind of, the extra bits, I did take the razor and make it more nice. Now on the top there, you can see how it kind of oozes out a little bit. Make sure that it oozes out of the hole, so that way when it dries, it locks itself to the legs. And at any time, if you wanted to remove all this hot glue from your legs for whatever reason, it will come right off. I mean, that's the best part about hot glue, is it's strong and it does the job, but if you need to remove it, it comes right off. But yeah, the taller landing gear allows the antenna to be at its full length, like it should. There you go. And that's how I modified the DJI Phantom taller landing gear for my Cheerson CX20. I'm super happy with it. it's a bummer that they don't have actual proper landing gear for the Cheerson CX20, but this taller landing gear was $6.99 on Amazon Prime. So you know, even if it didn't work, not one little bit, you know, I wasn't too disappointed about it. But if you have any questions, leave them in the comments. If you like this video, then like it. If you dislike this video, slam that dislike button. But don't just leave me hanging. If you dislike this video, let me know why. You know, anything that, if you could teach him how to speak better, that'd be nice. But yeah, if you have any suggestions on how I can do these videos better, please let me know. Like I said, that's going to be the last time that I use the webcam to make these videos. I've got a much better camera now, so hopefully picture quality is going to come out a lot better. But like I said, if you really like this video, like it, dislikes, smash that dislike button. I've said that again. And don't forget to subscribe. You know, you never know what I'm coming out with next, because yeah, I've got this build coming on, so it should be fun.